Strong storm system north of Indianapolis, Indiana this evening brought tornadoes to the town of Kokomo. Kokomo Mayor Greg Goodnight says there's a lot of damage.
A lot of power outages throughout the city, even in areas that were not directly impacted by the tornadoes. Substantial damage to property. A lot of trees are down.
Howard County Commissioner Paul Wyman says municipal workers and residents are pitching in to help clear the damage from the storm.
We've got to reach in deep and do the work of recovery. So thank you to everybody that's participated so far, and our thoughts and prayers are with the families that have been affected.
Former President Bill Clinton is defending the Clinton Foundation this evening after an Associated Press report yesterday that charged that over half of the non-government officials who met with Hillary Clinton while she was Secretary of State gave money to the Clinton Foundation. He says the Clinton Foundation has only created jobs and saved people's lives.
We started 15 years ago trying to save the lives of people with AIDS. A lot of people around the world thought it was crazy to give medicine to poor people. We got the cheapest medicine in the world, and now there's almost 18 million people on drugs.
But Republican Vice Presidential nominee Mike Pence says Hillary Clinton needs to come clean about meetings with donors to the Clinton Foundation while she was Secretary of State.
They ought to shut down the Clinton Foundation right now, and the Justice Department should appoint an independent special prosecutor to get to the bottom of that cozy relationship between foreign donors to her foundation and her service at state.
159 people are known dead so far from a pre-dawn earthquake that slammed into central Italy, devastating 3 small towns. Search and rescue operations are being hampered by darkness and not enough heavy equipment. On Wall Street, the Dow down by 65 points, the Nasdaq dropped 42, the S&P lower by 11, crude oil at $46.82 a barrel. More on these stories at townhall.com.
The U.S. stock market's on the brink of collapse. World currencies will soon freeze and devalue, and gold will hit $10,000 per ounce. So says New York Times best-selling author and economist Jim Rickards in his latest book, The New Case for Gold. Hi, my name is Adam Barata. I'm the managing director at Advantage Gold. Advantage Gold is on a mission to warn everyone about the massive risks facing all investors right now. And that is why Advantage Gold is giving away Jim Rickards' latest best-selling book absolutely free. Call 800-900-8000 right now to get your free copy. That's 800-900-8000. In this book, Jim explains how loose credit has created massive asset bubbles, why central banks are no longer able to prop up economies by taking on more debt, and why demand for gold will soon spike worldwide, driving the gold price to as high as $10,000. If you care about your financial future, please call now. 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000. My name is Adam Barata. We are Advantage Gold, and your future is safe in our hands. 800-900-8000.
Advantage Gold has the highest ratings according to TrustLink, with a 100% 5-star rating.
Tonight, the Guardians of the Galaxy ride will be a roller coaster of emotions for Epcot Center fans. California Adventure is getting a $329 annual pass. So how much will the Hollywood Studios one be? And the streets of America is being torn down. Man, I haven't seen a street look that way since I lived in real New York. You've read WDW News Today. Now you'll experience WDW News Tonight. We have no applause! Yay, no applause! Yay!
It's a late crowd tonight.
Oh, there they are.
Crowd. Everybody's at the soccer match. Sure, there's a soccer match. Orlando City Soccer, go Lions!
Is it Orlando City Pride?
Sure.
Lions. I'm Tom Corless. You're not. That's Nick LoCicero in there. I don't know who's doing cameras tonight. Someone switched to Nick.
Oh, hey.
Jason, maybe.
Hey, there's Nick.
How you doing tonight, guys?
Nick LoCicero, my co-host. Also joining us in the production booth, Jason Diffendahl.
Hey, howdy, hey.
Hey, Jason. All right. Well, welcome to WDW News Tonight. We're live on AM 1520 WBZW here in Orlando at listen.wdwnt.com, on the WDWNT, the app, and as well on YouTube. Thank you for joining us once again, as always. Glad to have you. Packed show tonight. Lots of exciting stuff going on. The Disney Parks Pursuit is back, our exciting game. We're going to have our first edition of what we're calling Compendium, a new history segment we're going to do in place of the discussion. where we're going to go through the history of something. And in this case, since Streets of America is being torn down, we're going to talk about the Backlot and Streets of America at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Should be interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sad. It's
It's sad, but this is it's a
nice.
profound moment in the history of the Disney's Hollywood Studios with the Disney MGM Studios.
A lot of people are sad, though. You know, I saw in the comment sections of some of your demolition pictures.
Well, yeah, it's always different when something is announced to be closing and then when you actually see it get ripped out.
That's true.
And especially with studios, Muppets Courtyard has always been kind of dark because there's been that big wall there.
Yeah.
And then you walked in Friday and it just wasn't there anymore. Like it's just there's just sky now all of a sudden, which wasn't there before. But we'll talk more about it. And now the news brought to you by TeePublic. I wish I had better news for everyone, but it seems that the replacement of the Universe of Energy at Epcot in favor of a Guardians of the Galaxy ride is indeed imminent. Rumor has it that Guardians of the Galaxy ride at Epcot will be a roller coaster attraction. As they say in the great movie ride, it's worse. The attraction would already be historic, of course, as it would be the first Future World attraction to break away from the fundamental edutainment theme of the park. Even if only rides of the last 10 years have been what we would call reaching for that. But nonetheless. However, it would be even more profound. It'll be the first roller coaster in the 35-year history of Epcot. And only the sixth thrill ride, and that's, of course, if you include Maelstrom. It's got to drop, I guess. It's thrilling. The real thrill was going up that lift hill and the boat just shaking violently.
How am I going to survive this? Will the boat fall apart?
And why is there an oil rig?
Never questioned that.
Thrill. Apparently, the ride would feature both elaborate show scenes and a long roller coaster portion, very similar to a rumored Captain America coaster that may still be coming to California Adventure. The existing Universe Energy building and attraction would be demolished, removing the ride starring Ellen DeGeneres and Bill Nye the Science Guy, leaving the prehistoric creatures of the attraction homeless, but also the dinosaurs. The one interesting wrinkle outside of those on Ellen is that the words Marvel nor Guardians of the Galaxy would appear on the attraction. They're not in any of the early renderings for the ride, apparently. So if you thought guests had a hard time finding rides as it is, just wait. This is, of course, a product of the legal restrictions in place on Walt Disney World by the Marvel Universal Studios theme park deal, which makes characters exclusive to Universal Orlando theme parks and brunch-serving chocolate factories. Sources seem convinced this attraction will be announced before the end of 2016, possibly by Bob Chapek at the upcoming Destination D event at Walt Disney World, at which point the crowd will choke him to death with their cleverly themed credentials. With that being said, it does indeed sound like this project may be approved already. We'll just have to wait and see. Anyway.
Well, you know I'm excited.
I know you're excited. Good. You don't care. Nick loves everything.
I don't not care.
Losing the Universe of Energy, this dinosaur scene that is inspired directly by the 64 World's Fair, kind of a touch of Walt in this park.
There is a huge difference between we've been through this. There's a big difference between continuing on the tradition and keeping something there that's stale. You're trying to do two different things here. You're talking about you're sad that this is going away. Well, it needs to go away. It's old.
Does
it's
it?
not interesting anymore.
Could you not just add new scenes?
I suppose you can, but it would need a pretty darn big overhaul, in my opinion.
Would it? Like, why couldn't we just get new celebrities? Like, why couldn't we just redo the film?
Well, I even think the ride system would need an overhaul. I don't think it's not interesting to a new generation of theme park goers.
A moving theater? It's still a pretty unique system.
It is, but it would need to do something else.
What if they incorporated new trackless ride technology?
Okay.
Like, what if they did that instead? What if they got new vehicles? Like, you could just it's already a flat floor in there. Like, just put a new trackless ride system in there.
My take has always been yes. I would be more for doing something and keeping, let's call it the quote-unquote theme of Epcot, because it does, it does have that edutainment theme. I get it, but they don't seem willing to wow us with those types of attractions anymore. I'd rather have something that's interesting and fun and unique than
and nonsensical.
Maybe, and that's the give and take here,
You would
I guess.
like your theme park experience to be dumbed down.
No.
But that's what you're doing.
I would prefer them to excel and come up with another attraction, a modern day type of World of Motion or Horizons that we all loved back in the day, but make it modern, because none of those would work today either.
That's fine. That's what everybody wants, though. The fundamental problem with this is not that they're building a Guardians of the Galaxy ride. The fundamental problem is they are ripping the theme out of this park when you already have 3 other parks, which, and for that matter, Epcot is still very open to IPs. They have several IP attractions that are perfectly fine. Seas with Nemo and Friends, say what you want. I think it ties into that theme very well.
But they have not shown any interest in continuing that theme with unique.
But that doesn't mean we
attractions.
need Magic Kingdom and Hollywood Studios Part 3. Like we don't need that.
It does.
That's what makes Epcot special. Epcot is this special beast that you can't just throw anything into. And Epcot makes plenty of money. It's not that Epcot's a failure. Epcot's far from a failure. World Showcase and Food and Wine and Flower and Garden and all the restaurants make more than enough money. You can certainly afford to, when there are enough pavilions in Future World that are very much open to IPs. If you wanted to put Inside Out in the Wonders of Life, people would be fine with that. Hell, if you wanted to put Phineas and Ferb in Imagination, there seemed like there were enough people that were somehow okay with that, because at least it made sense. If you want to put Nemo in the Seas, it made sense. You've had Lion King in the land for, 20 years now, 22 years now. There's certainly opportunity for it.
But
there's no reason to build something that could be built somewhere else in Epcot's Future World. There's no reason other than, hey, let's share the wealth. I don't care if this doesn't fit, just jam it in there.
I agree with you, but if you're giving me the choice between a mediocre ride that fits the theme and a more interesting ride that doesn't, I will take the interesting.
This isn't Disneyland, though. We are not landlocked. They literally have at least 3 other options for places they could put this ride. It could go in Tomorrowland. It could go in Studios. It could go in a 5th theme park. It could go any of those places. You know where it can't go? Animal Kingdom and Hell, Animal Kingdom, there's a talking raccoon in it. It makes more sense even there. There's a tree and a raccoon. It's fine. Put it in the Tree of Life. I don't even care. Don't touch Future World. Don't touch my dinosaurs. And don't touch Future World. I like this unscheduled rant we went on.
Well,
by the way, but anyway.
Good points.
For those of you just tuning in, Tom's yelling about Epcot, and Nick's, of course, happy with anything Disney.
Not happy with anything. You know that.
I don't know that. I don't know you anymore. Stepping on my future.
You know that they wouldn't give us like some cool notes.
I'm not saying it will be bad. It doesn't go there. That's like if you tried to put Buzz Lightyear in Frontierland. Like, what are you doing? What amount of drugs have you done in your life that makes you think a spaceman goes in the Old West? That's the same line of thinking that's like, hey, this area is about learning and the future. Let's put space aliens of modern time in.
Well, I'm excited to see their justification.
I don't think they have one.
We'll see. If they somehow have come up with some energy theme, I will give them a chance. But if not, I'm not okay with this.
Does it have to be energy?
It at least has to be a theme that makes sense.
Okay.
It has to be a theme that affects our lives.
All right.
You know, we have communication, which they've kind of replaced. Spaceship Earth's now more about innovation, which, you know, invention and creativity are certainly an important part of our lives and fit Epcot well enough. And even space, like Mission Space, say what you want about the quality, but theme-wise, the exploration of space certainly is a very Future World thing. So I don't.
No, I see, but that's the thing. I love Mission Space. I
don't hate Mission Space either.
I kind of wish Test Track went away instead of retheming that.
Yeah, I think a Mission Space upgrade would be great. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with them making Mission Space a complete story. That's what I would like to see, because I don't think there's anything wrong with it in theory. It's just poorly executed. But Nick, we have more news to get to, and we're just ranting. Let's continue. Beginning September 1st, guests can purchase a California Adventure-only Park Fun Pass. It's an annual pass, basically, for California Adventure admission on select days. There are blockout dates. Some of the details. Guests will receive a collector's pin with purchase, so I guess I'm paying $329 for a pin. Guests using the pass will get 10% merchandise and food and beverage discounts at California Adventure Park. It's valid for 1 year from first use, as long as that's before December 1st, 2016. There are blockout dates. You can check online at WDWNT.com. We have those in the post. It can be upgraded for a deluxe passport, signature plus passport, premier passport only, or converted into a Disney After Hours ticket. Tickets are non-refundable and non-transferable, and the pass will be sold only through Costco, so you can get it when you get your full case of Juicy Fruit. And the cost will be $329.99. California Adventure only AP, which makes 0 sense because there is a $329 pass that gives you both parks with limited dates.
But that's the SoCal, right?
It is.
So what if you're not a SoCal?
I suppose. But I think most people that will even think about this pass are gonna be Californians.
Californians, yes.
Yeah, so I mean,
there's a difference in California.
I don't know if anyone at a
SoCal.
Costco in New York is going to look at this and be like, "Hey, I need a California Adventure only annual pass."
Oh, you could buy. Oh, this is
Costco.
So not just Costco in.
It should be Costco
California
nationwide. I don't know if they're going to really market it otherwise. Costco has a pretty big travel department.
Yeah.
So if you go to Costco, there's usually a big desk where they sell travel packs.
Right.
It's part of your membership.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that's the thing. AP Days are going to return this fall at California Adventure to celebrate annual pass holders with special experiences and giveaways in an attempt to pacify them. The various events will take place over 2 phases from September 6th to October 2nd, 2016. Part 1 will take place September 6th through the 18th, will be themed to Halloween time, and Part 2 will be taking place September 19th for October 2nd, focusing on fall holidays and Thanksgiving. The events will include special character meet and greets, a showcase of up-and-coming content, including Guardians of the Galaxy, the Main Street Electrical Parade, food and wine, and more to be announced. Activity tables with coloring sheets for Andy Castro will be available. And complimentary water! Don't miss the free water annual pass holders.
Goodness.
You won't want to miss this great benefit. We're giving you free water. There's also a carpooling incentive. For pass holders, all pass holders who arrive with 3+ people in their car will receive a half-price parking discount of $9. Annual pass holders with 4 people in their vehicle will receive free parking. All APs with 4+ people, because remember this, all annual passes don't include parking anymore. All APs with 4+ people per vehicle will receive a special AP button for each guest. And if you show up with 5 or more people in your car, you get Bob Chapek's job. Because, hey, if you manage in Southern California to talk 5 people into one vehicle, you're like God. So you get that job. Anyway, if you ever wanted to train to be a Jedi like Luke Skywalker, Nick, I know this includes you.
Yeah.
You may want to take a look at Disney's latest patent. I'll describe it quickly for everyone. An entertainment environment has a user with a faux lightsaber that interacts with a drone flying through the air, operated with hidden rods to appear as if it's flying through the air. You know, like that thing in the news segment at Sci-Fi Dine-In. So it's a really inside joke. I hope somebody gets it. Faux lightsaber has LEDs attached to it to provide IR light to the drone. As an LED is turned on, an invisible light sensor built into the drone will capture an image of the field of view with a bright spot at the position of the activated LED, and then send the picture to your My Disney Experience account. Joking, that doesn't happen. A visible light source built into the drone then projects light through particulate matter. This is riveting audio right now. Particulate matter toward the faux lightsaber. As a result, The uses is provided with the illusion that the faux lightsaber has deflected a laser beam. If the guest misses, they will project fake blood onto them.
No.
Yeah. This is going downhill fast. Multiple LEDs can be activated in sequence at various times to give the user impressions that the movement by the user of the faux lightsaber is deflecting multiple laser beams.
I think people were waiting for a punchline in there. That's why. Was there?
Yeah. Although that being said, people who use lightsabers don't often have much movement. So
That's true.
there you go. See, I saved it. While sometimes these patents mean nothing, rumors have suggested that Star Wars lands at Walt Disney World and Disneyland will be full of role-playing experiences like this. Nick, could you imagine being able to train to be a Jedi as Luke Skywalker was by Obi-Wan Kenobi in Episode 4?
I can now.
Deflecting lasers with your weapon while accidentally entering Brazilian tourists around you. Can you imagine? Imagine if you will.
It does seem like a good time, though. That's what I'd expect from Star Wars Land. So
Okay.
I'm excited about that. I do want to train to be a Jedi. My father before me.
Hope you're better at that than you are at radio producing.
We'll see. Find out.
Disney began tearing down the facades of the streets of America. Disney's Hollywood studios last week. Jason, we have a there you go. Oh, nope, we lost it. Keep doing that, guys. Thank you. They began tearing down. There you see it. There's the wreckage. Looks like home. You know, Nick, I heard the demolition crew was full of college students.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's why it took 8 months to start a project that took just 2 days. Get it?
Yes.
College students procrastinate.
That's good.
I'm not saying they're working fast, but the Avatar crew managed to plant a bush in that time. I have more. James Cameron took longer to finish a sentence than it took to level that street. Really, Joe Rohde's earring was longer. There you go, your Avatar jokes of the week. All right, we can be serious for a moment. We do have one serious piece of news, and sometimes on WDW News Tonight, we do attempt to talk about serious news issues that affect Walt Disney World. Certainly this summer, we've talked about the alligator incident at length, and people are looking at nothing right now. Could you guys fix that? Thank you. Anyway, someday we'll figure out this show. So there was a serious bit of news this week. They came out, Nick, you sent this along to me, so if you want to help me out with this, you certainly can. The FWC and the Orange County Sheriff's Department released their final report on the incident. So this is now exactly what happened. I know we've sort of gone back and forth on the exact details of the incident and things like that. I will tell you, if you don't want to hear about this, I suggest you turn off the program at this time and come back in a few minutes, maybe, because we are, the report does give all the details of the incident, and we're just going to give you a brief synopsis of that. I'll go ahead and read that, the official synopsis of the report, and then, Nick, we can talk a bit more about some of the statements and things of interest in this. Nick Wiley, the FWC director, of course, was quoted as saying, "We continue to pray for the Graves family. FWC would like to thank Disney and our partners at the Orange County Sheriff's Office for the professional collaboration on this thorough investigation. Our agency will continue to work to keep families informed on how they can safely enjoy Florida and all it has to offer." The official synopsis is as follows. On June 14, 2016, at approximately 2100 hours, children were playing near the water's edge at Disney's Grand Floridian Resort. Witness Matt Graves heard a splash and saw an alligator bite his son's head and pull him into the water. Mr. Graves was close enough to grab the alligator, putting his hands into the animal's mouth. The alligator began to struggle and broke free from Mr. Graves, injuring his hands. The alligator disappeared into the water with the child. Multiple individuals called 911 for assistance. Fire rescue personnel and law enforcement officers from the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, that's the FWC, and Orange County Sheriff's Office began a search of the area by land, air, and water. The body of the missing child was located underwater by a patrol officer involved in the search and recovered by the Orange County Sheriff's Office dive team in the Seven Seas Lagoon in the afternoon of June 15, 2016. It was submerged in approximately 7 feet of water near where the initial attack had taken place. 6 alligators were subsequently captured from the vicinity, euthanized, and had what is that, necropsies? I've never heard of that. I guess that's what they call when they
it's like an autopsy.
Do that on an animal.
That would be my guess too. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never heard that term before. Examination of the bite pattern on the victim's body and autopsy confirmed that the cause of death was injury sustained from a severe alligator bite. So there's a couple things of interest here that do not match up with things we had been told by various news outlets or had been reported over time. Of course, the Orlando Sentinel had a quote from Matt Graves that stated there were 2 alligators. He thought there were 2 alligators. Clearly, through investigation, through talking to people and Matt and figuring things out, it was indeed 1 alligator. It was a bit sensationalized. And the children were indeed in the water. I know it had been talked about at length whether or not the kids were in the water or not. They were in the water when the attack took place. So things like that weren't exactly clear in any of the reports, and none of that. So we weren't regurgitating. I know some people asked if we were regurgitating information. They've heard enough of this at this point, but obviously we've followed this story since the beginning. Now that we have the absolute final word on it, this is where we can stop, and this is the final word, and this is the final information. And so obviously we want to close the book on this, but we also want to make sure everybody has the full correct story before we leave this whole thing. Now, Nick, there was a couple things you thought were of particular interest beyond the report. Obviously, it's a very lengthy report. I just gave people the synopsis, but if you want to talk about that.
Yeah, they did not. First of all, this report is just a reporting of the facts of the incident. It's not, in any way trying to, figure out any blame or anything like that. Like a lot of people are doing.
This is just the absolute final information. This is what happened. This is the official documentation. It's not taking any sides or anything. This is the facts.
One thing I thought was interesting, because part of this whole thing was a site assessment, and one thing they said is this lagoon is not unsuitable habitat for alligators, but would not actually be considered a preferred location for the alligators due to its deep, clear water, lack of cover. Basically saying alligators are not going to love this water just the way it is set up.
Insinuating that Disney maybe had that in mind in design, maybe.
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't think that we, I think that's a logical conclusion to kind of draw a little bit there. They did say that this is something that, if people don't know, I mean, one of the things they stated in this report is that is how alligators naturally actually go after their food sources. They stalk near the shore. Yeah. They grab something and they drag it into the water. It had nothing to do with obviously a vicious attack on a human or anything like that. And I don't even think there were some people saying maybe the kid was splashing or aggravating the alligator. I don't even think that was necessarily even the case. I think unfortunately
he was building a sandcastle.
Yeah, I think unfortunately reading this report, unfortunately a child was the right size for the gator to misidentify it as a food source for him. And some of the other things, to see some of the other people's statements, I hadn't seen that before, and that was very interesting to read in here. One of the statements that they have in this report said, and this is that there were multiple people that reported seeing gators close to shore at that exact area that day, and I don't know. I'm really not certain how often that is.
It's a fairly common thing. I have seen alligators at Disney World. It's not. There was the small one that lived by Splash Mountain for a while until I think they finally caught that.
Yeah.
No, it's not uncommon. We live in Central Florida, and they live here. It's just like living in any other area where other creatures are indigenous to the area. They show up. That's what happens with alligators. In fact, today there was a thing on the news where it was, I forget exactly where in Florida, but there was video of an alligator just walking between 2 houses.
Mm-hmm.
It's common.
Of course it does. When I lived at my former residence, whenever it rained, the little ditch right down the street from me, a couple houses away, would actually fill up with a couple alligators.
Wow.
And that's just a little drainage area. So who knows where they actually normally are. So one report did say, one of the witness reports did say that they actually saw about an hour or two before this happened, actually saw an alligator right there close to that exact piece of beach, reported it, and they reported it to their supervisor, and I don't know what came of that. Obviously nothing, but I don't know how common that is as well, or what the procedures are in place. That was the only, not necessarily red flag to me, because I'm sure a lot of people may report seeing alligators in the area. I don't know. I'd love to know what how common that is, and what the actual procedure. It'd be nice to hear from Disney about what their actual procedure is when that is reported, because I would assume they should take that seriously if one's seen close to land. At least, watch people going close to the beach. Now I know, they have the signs, and people aren't supposed to enter the water there, but people do, obviously, and Disney knows that they do. So that, that'd be my only thing, out of some of these witness statements. Other ones just saw how they, saw the incident happen, saw other gators out in the lake at the time. But, one thing I will say, for people who don't, who don't realize it, as well, Orange County, it's very rare that this happens. We talked about gator statistics in one of the previous shows, but one statistic that they put in here that I hadn't seen before, since in the past 66 years of recorded history of alligator bites, Orange County actually does rank 5th out of the 67 countries in bites, but that only
counties?
In counties, yes.
Yeah, you said countries.
Counties. And these are unprovoked alligator bites, okay? And it only amounted to 17 in the past 66 years. Yeah. And this is actually the first death in Orange County from an alligator.
It's important far beyond Walt Disney World. It's a fairly historic thing in the stats of those kind of incidents.
It really is. Yeah. And it's amazing that it doesn't happen often. I will tell you that. One of my other jobs is actually flying around in a traffic helicopter, and honestly, you could look down at any lake and you could see these things swimming around in there, pretty darn close to people out there playing in their yard.
I don't think tourists understand how common they are. I mean, that's, it's part of living here. So I think it's good. I think it's good for, I think going forward, it's now well known. So maybe this will prevent. Tourists will be a little more mindful near bodies of water, and in the end, I think that will be a good thing. That there will be at least a learning experience here, and hopefully, at all this, with what Disney is doing or whatever, we can prevent something like this from happening, which is good.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it is semi-equatable to shark attacks, things like that. I mean, people are out in the water. We know the dangers are there. We take those risks, and we take the risk. We live next to animals, and I will tell you this too. I mean, if you've ever seen an aerial shot of the beaches off the coast of Florida, there, you would not go into the ocean if you saw all the sharks and all the creatures. No. That are swimming around in there. You can see the shadows right there next to people. It is absolutely crazy. And the same thing with alligators. I see them all the time swimming around in the lake. So,
all right, Nick. Well, since we got through that, I know it was rough, ladies and gentlemen, but news is in the name, and that's most certainly news about Disney World. And as I've told you many times with this show, when there is real news to talk about that isn't just about fun and games, we're gonna talk about it. So with that, Nick, who brought us the news? TeePublic. Tell everybody about
TeePublic. Don't forget to shop for your apparel and accessories for Disney fans through WDWNT.com and TeePublic. Go to WDWNT.com. Click on the TeePublic link to shop from hundreds of designs. You get T-shirts, you get phone cases, you get prints, all kinds of stuff, including exclusive designs that our wonderful staff has produced, including the News Today logo apparel, News Tonight logo apparel. You got the March Tragic hard hats if you're reminiscing about Streets of America being bulldozed, which we'll talk about a little bit later. Maybe you want to buy that hard hats T-shirt to last you through the night. And of course, Tom Corless mean tweets. Were there any mean tweets this week? I think there might have been. There might have been some. All right. Well, head over to WDWNT.com. Start shopping by clicking the TeePublic link. TeePublic an official partner of WDW News Tonight.
Nick, are we going to start signing people up for the game yet?
Yeah, well, why not?
Disney Parks Pursuit. We need 4 contestants, prizes from Theme Park Connection. Go ahead and give us a call at 407-774-8255. You get a prize just for playing, at least the consolation prize. But we need 4. Start calling in now. We'll be right back.
The U.S. stock market's on the brink of collapse. World currencies will soon freeze and devalue, and gold will hit $10,000 per ounce. So says New York Times best-selling author and economist Jim Rickards in his latest book, The New Case for Gold. Hi, my name is Adam Barata. I'm the managing director at Advantage Gold. Advantage Gold is on a mission to warn everyone about the massive risks facing all investors right now. And that is why Advantage Gold is giving away Jim Rickards' latest best-selling book absolutely free. Call 800-900-8000 right now to get your free copy. That's 800-900-8000. In this book, Jim explains how loose credit has created massive asset bubbles, why central banks are no longer able to prop up economies by taking on more debt, and why demand for gold will soon spike worldwide, driving the gold price to as high as $10,000. If you care about your financial future, please call now. 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000. My name is Adam Barata. We are Advantage Gold, and your future is safe in our hands. 800-900-8000.
Advantage Gold has the highest ratings according to TrustLink with a 100% 5-star rating.
Do you have enough drinking water at home or work? For whatever life throws at you. This is Florida, and you can never have enough good, wholesome drinking water on hand for meetings, family gatherings, even Mother Nature's wrath. Be prepared with Carolina Highland Mountain Spring Water delivered directly to your home or business. Call 407-851-7144 or online at carolinabottledwater.com. There are no delivery fees, no contracts, and now take advantage of their Be Prepared delivery special in individual bottles, dispensers, and coolers. The purest water delivered to your doorstep. Guaranteed. Get started now. Call 407-851-7144, 407-851-7144, or online at carolinabottledwater.com. Refreshing taste, unrivaled purity, the healthier choice for home or office. Carolina's Highland Mountain Spring Water. Call 407-851-7144, online at carolinabottledwater.com. Refresh today.
Are you worried about losing your home to foreclosure? If you've been threatened with foreclosure or received legal papers from your bank, you have approximately 30 days to respond. If you do not respond, you could lose your home. You have rights. Act now to protect your rights. You can stay in your home. Many times you can even modify your loan. The bottom line is you can get past this, but you must act right now. Call National Foreclosure Defense right now at 800-989-1838, 800-989-1838. If you've been served by your bank and you're worried about losing your home to foreclosure, now is the time to fight back and save your home. Time is limited, so call right now. 800-989-1838, 800-989-1838. Call the professionals at National Foreclosure Defense right now. 800-989-1838.
And we're back on WDW News Tonight. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Ronald Reagan's here with me, as usual. Nick LoCicero in there. Jason Diffendahl somewhere.
Over here.
We are live, of course, on AM 1520 WBZW at listen.wdwnt.com, on YouTube and on WDWNT, the app. We're full on Disney Parks Pursuit, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, I want to apologize. Everybody got a busy signal. Kind of a big crowd tonight. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Actually, I have something fun. We might give away a couple bonus prizes in the second hour. I do have Hollywood Studios trivia questions in our little segment coming up, the compendium segment. So you may want to stick around. I will have some Hollywood Studios trivia for a couple prizes if you couldn't get through to play Disney Parks Pursuit. Anyway. Nick, we're angry.
Yes, very.
I have access to the entire curse word library. This new console is done.
It's a damn poor mind indeed. Can't think of at least 2 ways to spell a word.
No privacy is all around this place.
I don't like sand.
I don't like change. It was bad. It was awful. I was terrible. Get him away. Hey, boo!
Tom, it just the sadness, it just won't stop. It just won't stop for me, Tom. I thought I was in the clear after like I don't know, 5-6 straight weeks. I'm a big video game player. We have the Disney Infinity went bye-bye. And after all this time, passing by, seeing all these figures that we'll never see produced, getting me a little sad, all these playset stuff. Like, seemed like every day another one was coming out. Then we went through a lull. It seems like maybe we've seen all the concept art, all the models, all everything that we had. And then the news comes out in the past couple days to devastate me even further. We missed out on an Epic Donald video game, and I spent the past 2 days crying a little bit. Epic Mickey was a completely flawed game.
Yes.
It was pretty bad in that respect.
Their camera work was worse than this show.
But it was. It was a super fun idea, and for a Disney fan, it had lots of cool references, and they were decently fun playthroughs. And I would assume they would fix it a little further and then give us and I'm never going to get that Donald video game or the Disney Racers video game, which could have been pretty neat as well. So that I'm pretty mad that they keep throwing that stuff at me. Stuff we'll never see. Just hide it. Never show me.
Yep. Okay. I am angry at this is a usual offender for me, Universal Orlando. So Universal Orlando apparently has a new head in charge of their social media presence. This person has decided it would be really cute if they tried to be funny. So I, in return, am going to be really cute and be funny back to them. That's the decision I've made. So first off, someone tweeted at them and asked, who would win in a fight like the Yeti or King Kong? And they said something about the Yeti not being able to move, which, while smart and funny, this is the official Twitter account for Universal Orlando. This is a real company. Like Comcast is one of, if not the biggest entertainment conglomerate on the face of the earth. And an official Twitter account is tweeting jokes about a competitor company, which... The competitive person in me, if I ran Universal, that's what I would do. That's what I do at WDWNT. We're kind of outspoken. We're edgy.
We have a T-shirt about it.
I get it. I completely get it. But if I'm like Comcast, if I'm making billions of dollars, that might kind of be where I draw the line. So in response, I'm kind of angry about it. So I'm gonna be smart with them. But that being said, the Universal fanboys sort of took aim at me today, as they usually do. They didn't have any really good points, but there was a battle at some point about the dragon not moving. They're like, well, it wasn't designed to move. Well, yeah, it wasn't designed to move because Universal can't budget it or make it happen. Of course it doesn't move. Let's not be ridiculous. And everyone talks about the Gringotts, the what are they, trolls or what?
Yeah,
I don't even know.
Yeah.
They're not trolls. I'm wrong.
The goblins.
Goblins. Thank you, trolls. Trolls are what responded to me today. Goblins being these amazing animatronics. What? They just kind of stand there and blink. Like, what are people looking at? Am I missing them? Frozen animatronics are doing this and dancing and doing all sorts of crazy things, and we're impressed with these goblins blinking. Give me a break. That's what I'm angry about. I'm angry at the Universal fanboys. I think they have an unrealistic what they are a fan of. I think we at WDWNT are very fair. I've just spent a half hour poking plenty of fun at things that Disney does, but I think a realistic view sometimes somewhat important. But anyway, that's what I'm angry about. Nick's on the phone. What's going on?
Oh, nothing. Just getting our contestants ready.
Are we ready?
Yeah.
Do we want to just skip to that? We can always come back to the other segment.
You know what? Why keep them holding any further?
Yeah, let's do it.
You ready to play some Disney Parks Pursuit?
Let's do the Disney Parks Pursuit. All right, Disney Parks Pursuit. Let me explain the game. So if you ever play Trivial Pursuit, this is going to be very similar, although we've changed the categories basically to some of the games and things we've done here at WDWNT. For example, the pie pieces in our game, which they will have to collect all 6 in order to win, are music, places, time, trivia, food, and quotes. Music will be name that Disney Parks tune. Nick will play a piece of music. You have to name what it's from. Places, I'll give you 3 clues. You have to tell me where at Walt Disney World I am. For time, I'm going to give you an event. You have to give me the year that it happened. For trivia, it will be a general Disney Parks trivia question. For food, it will be something related to food, a question about food somewhere at Walt Disney World. Generally, I'll ask for a location or a food item.
And Nick did some of those, so good luck.
Yeah, I'm sure they're terrible.
Proofread?
No, I didn't, so we're up the creek this week. And then quotes will be a quote from an attraction. Tell me what attraction it's from. So again, it's turn-based, and once someone reaches 6 pie pieces, give me that graphic, Michael. Once someone reaches all 6 of those pie pieces, which you'll be able to follow along with that nifty graphic that Michael made, then we will have a winner of a fabulous prize from Theme Park Connection. So, Nick, please give us our who are our contestants.
All right, let's talk to our contestants here. First up, we have Hope. Good evening, Hope.
Hi.
Hey, where are you calling in from tonight?
Burlington, Vermont.
Ooh.
I don't think we've ever had Vermont.
I think that's a new one for us. Put it on the map. So how is it up in New England right now?
Not bad, not bad.
But are you wishing you were down here in Orlando?
It's not as hot there, but yeah,
Oh.
Orlando would be better than here.
Yeah, that's true. So do you have much amusements up there in Vermont?
No, we have mountains.
Ben and Jerry's, right?
Oh, yeah, there's Ben and Jerry's, but it's mainly mountains.
Mainly mountains. Sounds good. All right, hold on, Hope. We'll get you playing Parks Pursuit in just a few minutes. Let's bring on now Jeff. Good evening, Jeff. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from just outside Disneyland.
Just outside Disneyland. All right. Very good. So we're going coast to coast today. So we're going to do some Disney Parks Pursuit. Have you played this game with us before?
I have not.
All right. All right. Another first-time contestant here on Disney Parks Pursuit. Hopefully he knows his Walt Disney World knowledge as well as his Disneyland stuff.
Yeah, the last Disneyland guy we had, I then gave him a Disneyland question, and he still couldn't get it.
Yeah, a little tough there. How about Ashley? She's our next contestant. Good evening, Ashley. Where are you calling from?
Hi, I'm calling from Atlanta.
Atlanta. All right, Georgia's been pretty popular for us lately, and some of those contestants have done pretty good. So hopefully you represent the state pretty well tonight, Ashley. And so have you been to Walt Disney World lately?
Not lately. I had my daughter in February, so we had to postpone a trip, but we're going in 25 days.
Oh, 25 days.
So you didn't wait long.
No.
Man, all right, very cool. Is that like very exciting? Do you have the whole countdown calendar going and everything?
I do.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Have you decided on the first ride yet? I know the first ride is very important.
Ooh, we'll be at Hollywood Studios, so it'll probably be Disney Junior on stage, actually.
It doesn't count. It's not a ride.
I know, I'm sorry.
I vote
We're
great
going to
movie
Epcot,
ride.
Oh, gosh. I don't know.
They have to do stuff for the kids first, Tom.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's all about the kids.
But it's very important. You got to tell the kids someday. If they're a fan, you got to be like, well, what was my first ride? And you want to say, it was Disney Junior live on stage. I mean, I don't know. Like mine was Dumbo, and I appreciate that I was given that rite of passage ride as the first ride.
Yes, that is true.
Maybe you could be the first family inside Pandora. Will that be open in 25 days? No, probably not. All right.
No.
You answered your own question.
All right. Hold on, Ashley. Let's talk to John. John, good evening. Where are you from?
I am also from Atlanta.
Another Atlanta.
Oh, interesting. The Battle of Atlanta. So we got a 50% chance of someone from Georgia walking away victorious
they're
tonight.
better at math tonight than any of the math games, Nick. Good job.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, so let's start things off. Hope is going to be our first contestant, so we'll bring her back on. Hope, pick a category to start with tonight. Would you like a question from places, music, time, trivia, food, or quotes?
Let's do quotes.
Quotes. All right, I'm going to give you a quote. Tell me where it's from.
Okay.
How dare you come here? That's not me just talking. I'm not being mean.
No.
That's the quote.
Let's go Great Movie Ride. I don't think that's
That's not correct.
No, sorry. All right, but no pie-piece there. By the way, you could watch our live stream at listen.wdwnt.com or at the WDWNT stream on YouTube, and you could see our great chart with all our contestants and pie-pieces and everything. Jeff, you're up next. Places, music, time, trivia, food, quotes.
Oh, food is going to be my hardest, so let's do that.
Get food out of the way. Do me a favor, Michael. Roll that dice for me. You have a dice on the ground. Roll it. We got a 2. All right, I'm going to go number 2 on here. This is the name of the dinner show held at Luau Cove. Need an answer.
No. Luau, that was the word.
The Luau, no, that's not. That would have been really simple, but no, that's not it.
All right, Ashley, it is your turn. Which category would you like?
I'll do music.
Music. Roll that dice. Number 1. Put up
right.
number 1.
Here you go. What attraction is this piece of music from? No, those aren't. I didn't write mine in, Tom.
Oh. Okay.
It's the Buzz Lightyear Astro.
Yes, very good, very good.
Space Ranger spin, but Astro Blasters. We'll accept. No, we'll accept it.
Yeah,
It's fine.
She knew
I
where
just
she was going with
thought.
that.
I know someone in the audience is going to yell about it.
I know, I'm sorry.
Of course, everyone. No, Ashley, I'm on the same boat as you. I never get
Buzz
attraction
Lightyear.
names correct.
Buzz Lightyear is accepted.
Yeah, no, Tom, I didn't type them into the sheet. Sorry. about
Okay,
that.
so this sheet is useless. Thanks for giving it to me.
Oh, come on.
Jerk.
All right, Ashley, you got a
Jerk.
pie-piece. You got a pie-piece. You get to pick again. Would you like places, time, trivia, food, or quotes?
Let's do quotes.
Quotes. All right. Give me a number between 1 and 7.
Oh my goodness.
7?
Yeah, 7. What number?
3?
3. Let's put up the blocks. German and Belgian.
Put up the block. Oh, test track.
Yes! God bless you, Bill McKim. All right. So you got quotes. You're at 2 pie pieces. You're after a good start here. Where do you want to go next?
Food.
Let's do food. All right. Spin that dice, Michael. Is that the 5? You just rolled that. Okay. You can get Dr. Fall's signature grilled steak at this restaurant.
Is that Artist Point?
No.
Ah.
Where do you get Dr. Marsh's signature grilled steak? That's what Dr. Marsh.
All right, hold on, Ashley. Going to John for your first turn of the night. Which category would you like?
I will take food.
Food, all right. You can eat at one of these 2 restaurants when you purchase the Jungle Book. I don't know why you would, but purchase the Jungle Book Alive with Magic dining package.
Tiffin's and
You're so close.
Rainforest Cafe.
Oh, no. Also, Nick, you spelled Tiffin's wrong.
Calm down. Hey, Hope, it's your turn again. Which category would you like?
Let's do trivia.
Trivia, all right. How many different versions of the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror attraction have there been in the history of Walt Disney World?
2.
Nope. All right, Hope, sorry about that. No pie piece for you yet today, but hopefully we can change that next time around. Jeff, you're also looking for your first pie piece. Which would you like?
Let's try food again.
Food, all right. Lost food. There it is. What is the name of the dinner show held at Pioneer Hall?
There's a dinner show?
You Disneyland people are the worst. Just go collect your buttons. Just...
Oh, well.
Oh, boy.
All right. Well, Ashley has a nice lead here. Let's bring her on once again. 2 pie pieces.
I can't steal his question, can I?
No. Not the way it works. Which category would you like?
I will go with food.
Food, all right. You can get the grilled buffalo ribeye at this resort restaurant.
Oh my goodness. Wilderness Lodge? Not Wilderness Lodge. That's not.
I would have accepted Wilderness Lodge, but it's not a restaurant at Wilderness Lodge. I would have let you have it. That's not it. I know what you're thinking about. That's a good guess. That's a good other guess.
All right, let's bring John back on. Looking for your first piece. Which would you like?
Let's do music.
All right,
music. Nick, it's all you. I don't have the answers.
I gotcha. All right, let's see. Which attraction is this piece of music from?
Bienvenido a México, querido a México, la tierra de fiesta se ve donde quiera, oigan las marimbas.
Going old school.
Peter Pan.
Oh, that's even more offensive than the what makes the red man red. Wow, tough game.
That's amazing.
Anywho,
Hope, it's your turn once again. Which category would you like?
Let's do music.
All right, music. Nick, take it away again.
Excellent. All right. Let's see. Which show is this piece of music from?
Oh my gosh, the Castle Show, which is now leaving my brain of what it was called. Oh crap.
Doing something with Mickey.
Dream Along with Mickey.
Very good. All right, Hope, you got your first 5-piece. That's the music one. Pick another category.
Let's do food.
Food. Let's see. You can go to this Hollywood Studios eatery for Cousin Ryan's vegetable lasagna.
50s prime time.
That's right.
Nice.
Up to 2 pie pieces. Tie game.
Right. Places, time, trivia.
Is this going to be our
points.
last question before the break?
Yes.
Nick? Yeah. Okay. So last question before the break. So go ahead, pick a category.
Let's do places.
Places. All right. I'm going to give you 3 clues. Tell me where I am at Walt Disney World. I'm on Main Street, USA. I'm in a store, and Pandora jewelry is sold in this store.
Oh my goodness. What's it called? Crap. I can see it in my brain. Rebus Brothers, that's so not right, but,
It's not the name of that store.
It isn't.
All right, we got plenty more Disney Parks Pursuit to come. We got to talk about the Toothsome Chocolate Factory. We got the Wonderful World of Psychotic Comments. We've got Who's Angry, Who Hates Tom Now, and we've got the compendium on the backlot at Disney's Hollywood Studios. A lot more coming in hour 2 of WDW News Tonight. Please stick around.
You know what? I'm excited. We do have some people that hate you, Tom.
No, we do. I'm stunned. I'm always surprised.
You know, it happens every once in a while. I love the look on your face you gave me when we talked about the Mean Tweets T-shirt, and I said you might have made a couple within the past days. You're kind of shying away from that a little bit. You had a little bit of, I don't know, your face. You're kind of like, yeah, maybe I did. Maybe I did. Did you have a little argument online?
I don't even remember anymore. It's such a regular.
Man, it's so good. And then Psychotic Comments, pretty good. You know, I always love it in the comments when 2 of our people out there that are commenting out there get into a nice little argument with each other. In fact, we're not going to talk about this one in the comments, but you had to censor one this week. Every once in a while.
No, it got heated even after the psychotic part we're going to talk about.
Every once in a while, Tom Corless has to take out his censor bar. As bad as he is.
Not often. Yeah.
Sometimes
I usually let people
go. So, anyway, thanks for joining us in hour 1 of WDW News Tonight. We're going to continue Disney Parks Pursuit when we return in just a few moments.
Celebrating 50 years as Apopka's hometown station. 1520 WBZW. Apopka, Orlando. Community events, financial news, weather, traffic, and more.
A service of Salem Media Group.
Townhall.com. I'm Keith Peters. 3 tornadoes have struck the north central Indiana city of Kokomo this evening, tearing off roofs and toppling trees and power lines. Howard County Commissioner Paul Wyman says they've declared a state of emergency.
We have issued a joint order with the city of Kokomo declaring a temporary state of emergency in Howard County. With a temporary emergency, the city of Kokomo and Howard County are hereby closed to every person and motor vehicle for emergency vehicles.
Kokomo resident Katrina Redmond, whose property was damaged, tells WRTV Indianapolis she could see that the storm was going to be a bad one.
I got a text on my phone saying the cornfield, a tornado touchdown.
Utility companies reported more than 39,000 customers were without power Wednesday evening. In Louisiana, over 119,000, at least 13 people dead. Louisiana Governor John Bell.
Total assistance. Housing assistance approved, 113.7.
Potential for tropical weather in the vicinity as southern Louisiana piled up in neighborhoods that were flooded could become missiles if there are hurricane-force winds. On Wall Street, the Dow down by 65 points to 18,000. Nasdaq dropped 40. S&P lower by 11, and oil down to $46.69 a barrel. More.
Hey there, this is Eric Metaxas. Lately, I've been telling you about Liberty University's online degree programs. Liberty University is the world's largest Christian university with over 95,000 students. While there are a lot of universities who've jumped into online, deliver on the promise of a quality education, they point to a of their online program like Morgan.
And I've also learned that you can too.
Call Liberty University now at 800-424-9595. That's 800-424-9595, 800-424-9595, or visit liberty.edu/online. Flexible, affordable, possible. Liberty University online.
Welcome back to WDW News Tonight. This is Hour 2. We're in the middle of the Disney Parks Pursuit, but I want to take a moment to talk about next week's show. Next week's show is going to be a big one. We're pulling out all the stops next week. August 31st, we're going to be on. Cornac the Magnificent is joining us once again next week. We're also going to have the return of WDWNT, the match game. And I have a really big announcement for next week. So all that and much, much, much more next week on WDW News Tonight. Nick, who brings us WDW News Tonight each and every week?
Why, of course, that would be none other than Magical Travel. Magical Travel is an authorized Disney vacation planner and is always ready to assist you in making your next trip to the Walt Disney World Resort, Disneyland Resort, or aboard the Disney Cruise Line even more magical. Right now, you can enjoy a 4-day, 4-night stay in a standard room at the select Disney All-Star Resort with one park per day. Magic your way base tickets for just $1,850. Book through August 31st, 2016 for stays most Sunday through Thursday nights from August 1st through November 5th, 2016. The number of rooms available for this offer is limited, so make sure to act fast. For more information on this special offer and many more, visit magicaltravel.com and book your next Disney trip today. That's good advertising for my other podcast. Now, does that mean I don't have my camera on? Because does everybody see that? I don't know if anybody else sees what I see.
I have no idea.
No?
I see you.
Okay. Oh, you do? Okay, I just see my logo up there on screen, so I wasn't sure.
That's weird. Yeah.
All
I
right.
don't know what
Very
happened,
good.
but you're
So
fine.
anyway, thank you, Magical Travel, and we are playing Disney Parks Pursuit tonight, brought to you by Theme Park Connection, as all our games are. And we started in hour one with our contestants Hope, Jeff, Ashley, and John. Right now, Hope and Ashley dominating with 2 pie pieces each.
Dominating.
Our guys, Jeff and John, have no pie pieces. So the women are ruling tonight. Let's see if Jeff can turn that around. Jeff, it is your turn. You have no pie pieces. Which piece would you like to go for?
Food.
All right, Tom. Food.
All right, food. Let's see here. All right. You can no, let's not do. We did that one already. You can get thick-cut French fries loaded with tasty toppings such as cheddar cheese curds and beef gravy at this Disney Springs location. Hope you read my review because it's wonderful.
The Daily Poutine.
There you go.
Yes.
There's your food pie piece. You've been fighting for it. Where do you want to go next?
Woohoo! Quote.
Quotes. All right. Let's see what we got here. You'll always have that torch you can carry for him.
No clue.
All right. Well, we'll bring Ashley back up there. Ashley, you have 2 pie pieces. You have music and quotes. Looking for the other 4. Which one would you like to go for?
Places?
Places.
All right. I'm going to give you 3 clues. Tell me where I am. I'm at a resort. This resort has 2 very distinct areas, and you can find Yeehaw Bob here.
Port Orleans Riverside?
That's
nice. All right.
Go.
3rd pie piece. That's places. Still looking for time, trivia, and he's still looking for food, I guess, too. Yeah.
I know. Let's do time.
Time. All right. Give me the year. Disney purchases Marvel.
Oh, no. I want to say... Was it after my son was born? Hold on. 2013?
All right, hold on, Ashley. You got your 3rd pie piece in place, though. Here's John to look for his first. Which category would you like?
Let's do food.
Food, all right. This is the name of the dinner show held at Pioneer Hall.
No idea.
Have any of you been to Disney World?
Hey, you hadn't been there until a little while ago.
But I still know it exists.
That's
I
true.
mean, come on. Come on, guys.
All right, Hope, you're up. You have music and food. Looking for the other 4. Which one would you like to go with?
Let's do quotes.
All right.
All right, quotes. Oh, no, we did that one. Hold on. Hang on to them hats and glasses.
That would be Big Thunder Mountain.
Nice. All right, Ashley, or excuse me, Hope, getting her 3rd piece to tie with Ashley right now. And you both have 3 pie pieces, both halfway there. Which one would you like to go for, Hope?
Time's going to be terrible, so let's try to get it done.
It is. It's the worst one.
The Backlot Studio Tour closes at Disney's Hollywood Studio.
Oh, that was 2015?
Come on, we broke that story.
You did. All right, Jeff, you have food. Looking for the other 5. Where would you like to go?
Places.
Places. All right. I'm in a theme park. I'm at an entertainment venue. And you can find Stitch here sometimes.
Tomorrowland.
Where in Tomorrowland?
Last time I saw Stitch, he was right beside a ride. So.
I'm at an entertainment venue where you might find Stitch. Where in Tomorrowland am I?
I don't know what the stage is called.
That's it, Tomorrowland stage. Give it. When you said stage, I'm going to give it to you.
All right.
It was that simple.
All right. You got food in places. Go for your 3rd piece, Jeff.
Time.
Time, all right. The final Spectromagic Parade occurs.
2005.
Off by a bit.
All right, bringing Ashley back on. You have 3 pie pieces, music, quotes, and places. Which one would you like to go for next?
Let's go for food again.
Okay, food. What is the name of the dinner show held at Pioneer Hall?
That would be Hoop-de-Doo Review.
There you go.
Thank you.
All right.
Somebody had to get that.
Yeah. Now you're still looking at looks like time and trivia.
Oh, let's do trivia.
All right. Trivia.
Let's see. How many countries are there currently in World Showcase?
Oh my gosh.
Give you a moment to count.
I'm gonna go with 11.
That's right.
Nice.
Sweet.
All right, now just the dreaded time left for you. You have 5 out of 6 pieces.
Just time left. Cinderella Castle is turned into a giant cake.
Oh my gosh. 25 years. That would be 1996.
There you go. We got a winner.
Congratulations.
On the Disney Parks Pursuit.
I like how she figured that answer out, too. That's very, very smart. Very good. 25th anniversary. All right. Well, congratulations, Ashley. You're going to get a prize pack from Theme Park Connection, and we appreciate you playing tonight. Hold on the line, everybody. Hold on the line, because everybody gets a little something for playing tonight, and we'll get your address, and we'll get that out to you. And Ashley, again, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks for playing tonight. And that was a great round there.
Yeah.
I like how she came. She didn't know the year, but she knew why it was.
She said 20. I heard her say 25, and I was like, "Do the math."
Yeah,
she got it.
Exactly. Very, very good. So that was excellent. So we're gonna take a quick break here on WDW News Tonight. When we return, a lot more for you, including that in-depth discussion of the streets of America and much more, including people that are angry at Tom.
JP Morgan is now holding a record 55 million ounces of silver. Goldman Sachs and HSBC recently purchased 7.1 tons of physical gold. What do these fat cat bankers and mega money managers know that you don't? They're expecting another financial crisis, and over time, gold and silver win. Silver is trading below its production costs and is predicted to double by 2020. At Capital Gold Group, we offer gold and silver for direct delivery. Plus, our specialty is IRA rollovers for the ultimate in IRA security. Be one of the first 20 callers today to receive our free gold and silver buying guide. Capital Gold Group is A+ rated with a Better Business Bureau. So call now and see what investing in gold and silver can do for you. Call now, 800-430-7568, 800-430-7568, 800-430-7568. That's 800-430-7568.
In the market for a new home? Write down this number, 407-247-4184. Growing up, you didn't notice if your home was small or if the curtains were old. The important things about home were jumping into bed with mom and dad during a storm, getting to lick the spoon whenever mom baked a cake, and playing hide and seek in the backyard. Now you care about things like good neighborhood, square footage, and whether or not there's a breakfast nook. You also want to buy a home that gives you all the good feelings of the one you grew up in. A home where you walk in the door and you know this is home. That's where Todd Schroth of RE/MAX Central Realty can help.
Hi, I'm Todd Schroth of RE/MAX Central Realty. A house is more than just a place to keep your things and lay your head. It's where you live life, create memories, and share tradition. Put our 20-plus years experience to work for you, and hey, let's find you a home.
Todd is a local community expert, a gold-level top producer, and a member of the RE/MAX Hall of Fame. Call the Todd Schroth Real Estate Team at RE/MAX Central Realty today. Call 407-247-4184. Online at keepingorlandomoving.com. Come on, let's get moving.
Imagine an acne treatment breakthrough that even Proactive says is better than Proactive. Announcing today's Proactive Plus, the revolutionary way to clear your skin from the #1 name in acne care. Proactive Plus is our best, most effective solution ever. And when you call 1-800-738-1912 today, you can have it tomorrow. Proactive Plus is the modern acne miracle that treats your skin beautifully. The plus means more. More precise, targeted medicine for faster, gentler acne prevention. Plus, more skin-loving solutions so your complexion can look bright and beautiful.
I am just so happy with Proactive Plus. I don't think my skin has ever looked this good.
Call 1-800-738-1912. Be one of the first to try Proactive Plus. Guaranteed 100% risk-free. Call right now and even the shipping is free. Call 1-800-738-1912. 1-800-738-1912.
Are you worried about losing your home to foreclosure? If you've been threatened with foreclosure or received legal papers from your bank, you have approximately 30 days to respond. If you do not respond, you could lose your home. You have rights. Act now to protect your rights. You can stay in your home. Many times you can even modify your loan. The bottom line is you can get past this, but you must act right now. Call National Foreclosure Defense right now at 800-989-1838, 800-989-1838. If you've been served by your bank and you're worried about losing your home to foreclosure, now is the time to fight back and save your home. Time is limited, so call right now. 800-989-1838, 800-989-1838. Call the professionals at National Foreclosure Defense right now. 800-989-1838.
Welcome back to WDW News Tonight. Real quick, Nick, what just happened on the phone?
Well, I hate you sometimes because ever since I met you, I now a lot of times whenever somebody says 7, I yell 7, and most of the time in my average everyday life, most of the people have no clue why or what or where.
Yeah.
And I say 7, they're like, yeah, 7. I'm like, yeah. I even yelled it to the radio the other day when they said it's a 7th home run. I was like, 7. I just do it all the time. So unfortunately, John, I apologize. You were giving me your address, and the first number of your address was 7. And I yelled 7. And then I just started cracking up, and I couldn't hear you, and I made you repeat your address like 3 or 4 times, and I heard you were getting a little bit, annoyed with that, and I apologize. But it's blame Tom. It's not fault. By the way, Tom, the other thing, Ashley, she conferred with her family, and she wants you to know that Great Movie Ride will be the first attraction they go on when they get here.
That's awesome.
Yes. So there you go.
I feel honored.
Yeah.
I'm going to stop for a second. We have an agenda on this show, but Nick, I'm going to pause the show for a moment if I can, because I saw some people in the chat talking about it already. So I don't like people to hear stuff from other people. I'd rather you hear it from me. So next week's big announcement is somewhat connected to this, but it's not really. Next week's big announcement is something separate, but I was going to kind of hold off on this a little while, but those of you that listen to News Tonight obviously are some of our more dedicated people. You show up every week, and we appreciate that. So I saw people talk about it in the chat, and I want to talk about it. As you know, Theme Park Connection has been a sponsor of this show since it was WDW News Today, the radio show, a while ago. That's a deal we were able to make pretty easily because I worked at Theme Park Connection. As of September 27th... Now I hate Nick. As of September 27th of this year, I will no longer be working at Theme Park Connection. The reasoning for that is things at WDWNT have gotten a little crazy, and to Theme Park Connection's credit, they have given me an incredible amount of leeway to do what had to be done to grow something that means the world to me. And they have been the most accommodating and wonderful workplace I could have ever asked for. I've been there for over 3 years now, and it's been really great. And we kind of knew over the last year this point was going to come, and it's just been a matter of time of figuring out when we were going to do it. But so what's going to be happening after September 27th is I'm going to be working here full-time. I'm going to be doing WDWNT as my job. That's what I'm going to be doing for a living. Whether that's a good or bad idea, we're going to wait and find out. But That's what's going to happen. The thing, it's gotten very big, and I'm sure many of you have noticed over the last months, years. Maybe some of you are even new to the site in the recent boom over the last year or so. Things have taken off. Traffic is big. Things are happening, and in order to make things continue to happen, I can't spend time somewhere else. There needs to be someone full-time on this, and everybody came to the decision that obviously that's got to be Tom, because this is my baby. Obviously, I don't do it alone. There's a tremendous amount of people who put in a wonderful amount of time, and I am so blessed to have with me on this project each and every day. But we're going to take that leap on September 28th. It's going to be my first day full-time at WDWNT. So that's what's going on. Theme Park Connection, we've already talked about it. They're going to remain on as a sponsor. They're a wonderful company. I think they provide something that makes sense naturally to this show. I mean, they provide prizes every week, but also, you are Disney fans. We're all Disney fans. We want to buy Disney stuff, and they are a great place to buy stuff from. So check them out online at themeparkconnection.com. And again, I have to really thank them. The last 3 years, they've been more than accommodating. Like Frozen Ever After opening, they let me come in late. They knew what I had to do. Like anything like that, food and wine or whatever, they were always more than willing to accommodate whatever had to get done, and they understood how important this was to me, and I am eternally grateful for that. So didn't want you to hear from someone else. You heard it from me first, so I'll be going full-time September 28th. Anyway, Nick, we still got so much show to get to. It's already 10:21. What are we doing? We're gonna eat.
Okay, crackpots, let's get cooking.
I'm gonna talk about this real quick because we have a video review coming up later this week. Last night I went over to Universal. Universal has this new thing. It's called, I'm gonna look at the sheet because it's the worst name ever, and I'm not gonna get it right. I feel like Nick right now. It's the Toothsome Chocolate Emporium and Savory Feast Kitchen.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the name. This is this really crazy. It replaces NBA City. It's this really crazy store and restaurant, and there's a counter service component with milkshakes and sundaes. It's this really odd thing. It's themed to it. It's a steampunk chocolate factory. And it's got a whole backstory. It's in the menu. Number one, the menu itself is like a novel. It's like 30 pages. Every page has like 15 items. I'm not even exaggerating, Nick. This is a real thing. They have brunch and salads and omelets and burgers and there's steaks, and it's an insane menu. There's so much on it. And then some of it has, obviously it's a chocolate factory. There were chocolate wings, there were chocolate sliders, there's chocolate bread. There are normal items also. I had a patty melt on French toast.
That sounds amazing.
French toast, they have a sunny side up egg on top of it.
Stop it.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
No.
It was only like $14. So, short review, the entrees were phenomenal. Phenomenal. The appetizers were kind of the bread was good. The milkshakes were good. Mm-hmm. They're not the best I've even had at Universal, but they were good. They're fun looking. They're cool looking, and they're large. The interior at times is really neat, and sometimes it just looks like NBA City got painted black, so it's not the most amazing thing ever. But we had a really interesting experience. So the video's coming. It's really funny. It's our full experience at the Toothsome Chocolate Emporium and Savory Feast Kitchen. There's a robot named Jacques. A chocolate robot.
How about the atmosphere there?
Around. I just explained the atmosphere. It's like they painted NBA City black.
But I mean, like, do they do special
fun.
things?
The costumes are fun, and they have the walk around characters. So there's Penelope Toothsome and her chocolate robot Jacques. I wish I was making that up. It's a real thing. Universal, I don't often give them credit. They really went out on a limb to do something very different. I appreciate their attempt to do something really different and odd, and it is odd, but there are things that are very redeeming about it. So there's some funny, really comical, odd things, but there's also some really, really good success they're having with this project. So we'll talk about it. The video is going to come up later this week. It's a weird thing.
Looks like there's a lot of good things to try.
Yeah.
You like sweets and stuff?
Yeah, the entrees are great. I'm going to go back. I absolutely want to go back.
So much chocolate. Everything had
You have
chocolate.
a problem with chocolate?
Oh, you said chocolate sliders. What are chocolate sliders? Can you explain that?
So it was a pork belly slider with chocolate bacon on top.
Chocolate bacon. All right.
It was weird.
Yeah.
You got to watch the review. You'll see. The video review will be up soon.
All right, cool. You ready for some crazy and wacky comments?
Let's take a visit to the wonderful world of psychotic comments. Nick, take it away.
All right, let's do it. We had a conversation that we alluded to earlier. You know, sometimes people just don't get each other. So you did a photo report the other day. It had lots of cool stuff in it, including the 2017 calendar, which came out. And so Ariel writes in, hey, where can I find the Disney 27 calendar? They're completely unrelated. Like, he didn't reply to that. Someone else just wrote in another comment. Steven, he wrote, see, you didn't like the pizza, eh? Well, just happened to be under Ariel's, but not actually replying to Ariel's. Ariel took it a little too far. Ariel got very upset and said, I didn't say anything about the pizza, idiot! Exclamation, question mark, question mark. I'm asking about the calendar, where I could get it, exclamation, question mark, question mark. Well, Stephen took offense to that.
You missed the angry faces in there too.
Actually, there was exclamation, exclamation, angry emoji, idiot, exclamation, angry emoji, question mark, question mark. I'm asking about the calendar, where can I get it? Stephen wrote in, that was a completely inappropriate comment. If you take the time to look, I was not replying to your comment. And Ariel promptly said, my bad, and apologized. So I'm wondering where it went from there, but I know we don't want to reveal that on air, but
yeah, no, there was cursing. There was some really bad cursing after that, which I deleted.
I thought that would have solved it. He apologized. Come on,
yeah,
guys.
that should have probably been it. I didn't know it continued beyond that.
All right, here, this is in the category. This isn't too crazy. I just want to help some people out. So Robin wrote in. Now, this is on your cheeseburger flatbread review at Pizza Savory.
Oh, geez, that's a great video.
Now, I love the cheeseburger flatbread at Saratoga Springs. Is this the same kind of flatbread as that, or is this one different? At Saratoga, the Artist Palette cheeseburger flatbread is absolutely amazing. No, Robin. In fact, it is nowhere in the same universe.
You're the one that brought that up, right?
I did.
Yeah, while we were sitting there, you're like, oh, I wonder if it's
they have one. Right, okay, yes. I said they have one there, but it was not. No, I'm telling Robin, it's not even in the same universe.
I know that was funny that she commented, because when we sat down, you're like, oh, I hope it's like the one at Artist Palette.
Because it is, and I did the whole arm shake thing, too. No, it is. The one at Artist Palette's amazing. I actually make that one at home. This one, I hope no one ever tries to make it ever again.
I'd rather eat at Lombard's.
Rebecca MCK wrote in, happy belated birthday, Tom.
Aww.
You and Nick are funny. Been watching your AM radio show on YouTube. But then she also added, with the dinosaur area fountain turned off, the puddle there makes it look like the dino statue peed, LOL. I don't remember even what she's referring to, but the fact that she finds that funny and makes the pee and fart jokes there, I don't know if I like.
I can't imagine why she likes this show.
Yeah. How about the from DC is better than Marvel? He commented. Some people are a little harsh. He called out another commenter, called him a bully and a coward hiding in the basement who makes up rumors for clickbait, as well as Tom. Disney needs to find out who he is, ban him, his family, all his future descendants from Disney property.
Are they talking about me or someone else?
No, the other guy.
Oh,
He's just comparing the two of you because you like clickbait.
You know? I do enjoy some good clickbait.
That was on the Guardians of the Galaxy roller coaster.
That's why I need more free time to make more clickbait.
All right, this one gets a little weird. Anonymous didn't even want to put his name on this one. In the Pirates of the Caribbean, if you want some good reading, go read the Pirates of the Caribbean replacing Peter Pan in Fantasmic 2.0 article. Anonymous writes in, there is no Jack Sparrow ever coming to Fantasmic, and there will be no changes to the show when it returns. When Iger leaves, you can expect whoever takes over to undo everything he's done in Disneyland to the point of kicking Jack out of the ride because Johnny Depp is a criminal and they should take away his Disney Legends Award. He'll also kick characters out of It's a Small World, and they'll sell off Marvel and Star Wars, removing every trace of them, including changing Star Wars back to its old 1987 self. By
the way, Iger was not responsible for Jack Sparrow in any way.
Little extreme there.
It was actually Michael Eisner, because Iger wasn't even in charge of the company yet when that happened.
One last comment here, just food for thought. On your Guardians of the Galaxy ride will be a roller coaster attraction. Replacing the universe of energy. That's important to remember here. Joe Turns writes in, most of the coaster route, quote-unquote, downward, doesn't even need electricity. Think about it. We will, Joe. We will.
Oh, that's my favorite segment.
All right, we're going to take a really quick break. When we get back, what's the segment called? You changed the name of it on me.
Which one did I change?
Well, it's not Back to the Future anymore.
Well, no, we're not doing flashback. It's compendium.
Compendium. There you go.
The compendium.
The compendium. We're going to talk about Streets of America when we return.
And the Backlot.
And the Backlot here on WDW News Tonight.
JP Morgan is now holding a record 55 million ounces of silver. Goldman Sachs and HSBC recently purchased 7.1 tons of physical gold. What do these fat cat bankers and mega money managers know that you don't? They're expecting another financial crisis, and over time, gold and silver win. Silver is trading below its production costs and is predicted to double by 2020. At Capital Gold Group, we offer gold and silver for direct delivery. Plus, our specialty is IRA rollovers for the ultimate in IRA security. Be one of the first 20 callers today to receive our free gold and silver buying guide. Capital Gold Group is A+ rated with a Better Business Bureau. So call now and see what investing in gold and silver can do for you. Call now, 800-430-7568, 800-430-7568, 800-430-7568. That's 800-430-7568.
Hi, Bill Files here, GM of Salem Media Group Orlando. You've heard me talk about half-price tuition, a great new program we have where folks just like you can purchase tuition to the finest Christian schools in Central Florida at half price. No catch, no kidding. I want to share with you some comments from a listener who recently purchased tuition for her daughter. This listener called me, and once she found out that the program was for real, she and her husband decided to buy it. She said, "Before we hang up, I wanted to thank you and to share with you that my husband and I have been praying for a way to send our girl to Christian school. Your half-price tuition program has made that possible. Thank you." This is what it's all about. If you or someone you know could benefit from our half-price tuition program, I hope you'll give me a call, 407-618-1760, or visit our website, amazingradiodeals.com. Half-price tuition, another positive idea from Salem Media Group Orlando.
Schools like the Geneva School and Altamont Christian School are available right now. Go online to amazingradiodeals.com.
Welcome back to WDW News Tonight. We're live on AM 1520 WBZW in Orlando at listen.wdwnt.com, on YouTube, and of course on WDWNT, the app, who is proudly bringing you our in-depth discussion of the week, which will be something brand new we're doing, the Compendium. Good music for that or no? Sure, why not? We're talking about Hollywood Studios. Why not? That's fine. Good job, Nick. I appreciate it. That was done in a minute. Very, very impressive. Joining us for the segment, Jason Diffendahl. Hello, Jason.
Hey, howdy, hey.
There's Ron Deanna.
Aloha.
Yes, Ashley, you with us, Ashley? Where are you?
Hey. Hi.
Welcome, illustrious panel. Nick's still here.
Yay, we're illustrious.
Yes. So the compendium. So we've done on this show. We've done Flashback to the Future in the past. That segment's going to be retired. We're actually going to turn that into a YouTube series. We're going to do those as a YouTube series. So what I wanted to do is we're trying to mix things up with these in-depth discussions. We have different things. We have the Imagineer of that. Things like that. I wanted. Obviously, we love park history. That's my thing. My thing has always been the history of the park. So I wanted to do a new segment about the history. That's kind of halfway between Flashback to the Future and halfway between the full Back to the Futures, which, as you know, can be hours and hours and hours long. So what we came up with was the Compendium. So it's sort of a short-form, more discussion-based version of that. So what we wanted to talk about this time, we want to talk about the Backlot area at Hollywood Studios, since that is now being bulldozed as we speak. And we'll just talk about the roots, some of the history, where it's going, and we'll do that right here and now. Like I said earlier, we're going to have an opportunity for you to call in. I have a couple of trivia questions in here. Nick will man the phone lines. It's 407-774-8255 if you'd like to call in and answer those questions for a prize from Theme Park Connection. So we knew we reached capacity on the last game, so we want to give everyone a chance to chime in. But first, before we get started, memories of Streets of America. I'd like to go around the panel. What is it about this hollow street that really didn't have attractions in it? But what is it about this back area of the park that people love? Why do people have a connection? No, maybe people didn't. Maybe I'm wrong.
Osborne lights.
Osborne lights.
That was Christmas to me. Was going and seeing the lights, and now they're gone, and I'm sad.
Nick's already taking phone calls. I didn't even ask a question yet. Tell them to get off the phone.
They're answering why they're special.
Oh, maybe, yeah, sure. Let's see. We'll see what's happening there. Jason, what do you think? You think it's just Osborne Lights, or was there more to this?
I mean, Osborne Lights was a big part of it for me. I mean, that was my last time at Streets of America. It was the very last Osborne Lights, so certainly that's a big deal. But it was more than that. I mean, even all the way back to the Backlot tour, when you could look down the Streets of America through the arch and see the force perspective.
In the opening year, you rode down the Streets of America in the tour tram.
Yes. And then even but the view down the street with the forced perspective, I think was really something that brought kind of the movie making magic alive, and you could see what it takes to do this kind of movie making. It really, I think, was a big part of the making Disney MGM Studios sort of the behind the scenes of making movies. It was to me, it was a quintessential part of the whole studio experience.
For me, it was actually a lot about the sounds. Like I always talk about sounds and walking down that street and like hearing the ambiance of being on a busy street, hearing conversations, in different parts of the streets depending on where you were, and hearing the traffic and the horns and just various things like that. That added touch, the fact that they put so much into it as far as that went, really made it a cool experience for me.
I will, since you brought up the sound. I will bring up the usual exchange that I went through every time I went to Streets of America. I'd usually be with people. We'd walk onto the street, New York Street, and I'd go, home. And then they'd ask, is this really what New York is like? And I'd say, no, this is what New York looked like in 1989. It's not what New York looks like now. Anyway, Ron.
It was just a cool place to walk through. I think my memories are a little sullied because the last thing I remember on Streets of America was getting away from a Mulch concert. They were playing Lit, and I'm like, this just has no place, and I just wandered off to Writer's Stop.
Mulch, I often think, was a fitting name for them. You know what Mulch is full of. Anyway, Nick, we have a phone call?
Well, whenever you're ready to do the trivia.
They just want to. They preemptively called.
They preemptively called. They
All
got
right.
on hold. I said they
I'm
could
going to put them on the phone. Put them on the phone.
Because he didn't get to play Parks Pursuit with us, so it's Caden. He also had a little memory about the Streets of America. So what do you remember about Streets of America?
So I never really went back there much, but I went for the last year of Osborne Lights, and that was amazing. Like, I had never seen it before. And I remember, like, What's This from Nightmare Before Christmas came on, and it was just insane.
It was pretty amazing. But I'm going to give you a trivia question. You're starting us off. Right. I haven't even gotten into the script yet, but I have a question to start off the script.
Okay.
All right, here's a question. What year did they break ground on the Disney MGM Studios Backlot tour?
Oh. Shoot, what year did they open? I'm guessing it would be like...
They opened in 89.
Okay. So I'm guessing like a year or two before that. I'm gonna say 87.
7?
Yep, 7.
That's wrong.
Probably not.
No.
Oops, wrong.
What are you dinging?
I
What
was thinking the 7.
Oh, jeez. No, it wasn't. It was actually 1986, so Avatar type construction timeline on this thing.
All right. Well, thanks for calling, Caden. Appreciate it.
Yeah, so March 27th of 86, they broke ground. Nick, do you have give me some memories of the Backlot and Streets of America.
Oh, the Backlot. Yeah, I mean, that was my favorite thing. You know, when I would go down there, because I had had the opportunity to go down there within the first few years of it opening. I think 90 was the first time I did visit the park. I absolutely loved it. You know, I remember going to Walt Disney World and waiting for studios to open. And when it did, being able to see these these films and then like being drawn and things like that. And what was cool as a kid is then when they come out in the theater and you go see them, you're like, I saw that being made. I was driving by and they were talking about this film, and to me that was really cool because you felt like an insider almost. You felt like you were cool because you got to see. It was the only time in my life where I felt cool, Tom. You got. I was waiting for you to make that joke. So it felt really neat to be able to see the process of this being made. And I've always been very interested in the process of things. That's kind of why I got into loving Walt Disney World history in the first place, is getting to see the process of how things are done, how things are made. And that was just a really neat experience for me. So the Backlot in particular, honestly, Streets of America, I don't have too many fond memories like everybody else. It's Osborne, but really, like I said, it's walking down it and listening and hearing the sounds and everything, and seeing the people take the pictures with the forced perspective backgrounds and stuff. People, it was a nice street to walk down.
Yeah.
But the Backlot is where my memories are really.
Yeah, I mean, for me, Streets of America, I mean, that was our thing. We always went Christmas. So Osborne, I mean, obviously Osborne started not on New York Street. It was back in Residential Street, that area, which I remember. But really, I always liked Osborne. It was something we enjoyed. But when they started dancing, that's really when I fell in love with Osborne, and it became this thing we had to do. And so that was like a family tradition. All the holiday stuff usually has a pretty strong emotional connection. So much so that my parents had actually come. They actually came to visit me in the summer last year. They usually come like once a year. And my mother loved Osborne so much that when we found it was going away, they decided they had to pop in for a weekend the end of last year because they couldn't imagine not ever seeing it again. So Osborne's a pretty special thing. Obviously, I always loved the Backlot tour and all the other stuff in the park. I love Hollywood Studios, although that wasn't necessarily a thing when I was a kid. I always liked that park, but Epcot was my favorite growing up. But in more recent years, I think the history of that park is so fascinating. That's kind of why I've fallen in love with it. I think it just has such an intriguing history to it, a park that is in so many ways fundamentally had to change from what it was originally. Not that Epcot hasn't either, but Studios, I think, is just something really intriguing about it. And I think what Nick said is a big part of that too. I think that production history and going from working studio to theme park.
Well, another memory I actually have on Streets of America. I just remembered this. When I was in college at UCF, I was in radio television, but I worked closely with a lot of film students. I kind of dabbled in almost getting involved in being a film student there. And so, but one of the things I like to do is go work on sets of student film productions, and we actually shot a couple student films. So UCF student films out there on the Streets of America. I remember two different ones. One was actually a music video, actually from Make-A-Wish Foundation, and one was something else. I even forget what the subject matter was at this point. But yeah, so speaking of it being a working movie studio, I mean, there you go. We got to actually do stuff there.
My first trip to the studios was sometime in middle school, and it was a multi-day field trip where it was the art department, the art students and the drama students who were on this trip, and we actually got a whole tour, including the Backlot tour of the studio from some production people, and then we made a little film back there. And I think we were all in front of green screen, like filming in one of the bungalows. But I remember them like putting the Backlot tour in because they didn't want to have a bunch of kids operating equipment out in the lot, obviously in the middle of the day. But I do remember that actually, and that's the first time I was in the studios, probably somewhere around '91.
Nick, we have a call.
Yeah, let's bring on Jonathan. Good evening, Jonathan. Where are you calling in from?
Tennessee.
Tennessee. All right, and you have some Streets of America and Backlot tour memories?
Yeah. One of my favorite things about the Backlot was the original Osborne lights and being able to walk through the Backlot. But Streets of America, probably my favorite thing that I ever got to do there was, at the time, something based upon one of my favorite movie series, the Ace Ventura show.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
I was actually able to get an Ace Ventura T-shirt there. It was one of the rare times you would get something that wasn't Disney at the parks during that time, but that was a great memory at Streets of America.
Yeah, that was obscure. A lot of people don't know that existed, the Ace Ventura On Location, where he would like swing down from one of the buildings. They do a little show, and then there was like a meet and greet opportunity after. It was really odd, but it existed for a short period.
They also had some film props from When Nature Calls and the AFI Film Institute.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool. All right, well, thanks for the call, Jonathan.
Thank you.
Did you have a trivia question for Jonathan?
I can give him a trivia.
Jonathan, you want to hang on for a trivia question?
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. We'll give you a chance to win something.
So we talked about groundbreaking was 1986. When the Disney MGM Studios opened on May 1st of 1989, the Backlot Tour, then called the Backlot Studio Tour, began in a different place than it did when the attraction closed. Where did they begin the tour back then?
Now it's Star Wars Launch Bay.
It is now Star Wars Launch Bay. That's right, the magic of Disney Animation. So we're going to send you a prize from Theme Park Connection.
Nice.
Good job.
All right.
All right, hold on the line, Jonathan. I'll get your address.
So, the studio tour opened up as was the premier attraction for the studios, considering the premise of the park was not only to entertain guests, but to show them, the art and magic of real Hollywood production. The original tour was comprised of a number of segments. There was a tram tour, obviously, and then there was also a walkthrough portion of that as well. But it was this really weird experience. Like, you were going on to the park was intended for real movie and television production, real animation production at that. So I'll run you real quick through the original Backlot tour itinerary. The Backstage Studio Tour, a two-part adventure. You'll go behind the scenes of a real motion picture studio. Please note, this 2-hour guided tour involves an hour of walking. Restroom facilities are available at the shuttle station before you embark on your journey and at the start of your walking tour. The Backstage shuttle station is where your adventure begins. You'll be introduced to the business of show business. Then you'll board a Backstage shuttle and travel to the heart of the production center, highlights of which will include visits to costuming, the Scenic Shop, Residential Street, Catastrophe Canyon, New York Street, which was, again, on the tram tour when the park opened, the Water Effects Tank, the Special Effects Workshop, and the sound stages. Well, then we're into the walking portion already. The walking portion would be the Water Effects Tank, the Special Effects Workshop, the sound stages, post-production editing and audio, and the Walt Disney Theater, which of course would show that many people fondly remember they call it the Eisner and Mickey film. And it's a film where Michael Eisner's featured, and him and Mickey end up going to the theater to watch the dailies of whatever's being produced at the park at that time. And it was really cool when they get to the theater, there are all sorts of other Disney animated characters sitting in the theater with them. It's a really, really wonderful thing. It's not really out there. Back when we did the 20th anniversary of Hollywood Studios, they did a presentation in the Premier Theater where they actually showed that film again, which hadn't been seen in a very long time. And it was really, really neat. But also there were restaurants. Because the tour was so long, there were restaurants offered along the way. So listed as part of the tour, there was the Soundstage Restaurant, the Catwalk Bar, and Studio Catering Company. Were all considered part of the tour because you could eat at you could eat at a soundstage restaurant before you began or at the end when you exited. And then catering company was actually available in the middle between your tram portion and your walking portion. They had a place for people to eat, which of course eventually that all got cut away from the tour, and those were just functional, everyday, normal eateries for the park. And then there were also shops. You could shop at the Looney Bin at the middle stop, which is across from catering company. And they also had the Studio Store, which is still there outside of Launch Bay. So, pretty cool lineup back in the day.
All right, we have another caller on that wants to share his thoughts. A longtime listener to the program, Sam. How you doing, Sam?
Fine. It's been a while since I've been on.
Yeah. So, what are your thoughts on all this?
I know I hate to ruin everyone's fond memories of this wonderful themed area, but I never cared for this area. Maybe it's because I didn't go to Walt Disney World until 2002. Maybe it's because I didn't see Osborne Festival until 2014. But the whole area, even at a young age, just walking through, I felt, when are they going to do something? It's just cardboard cutouts, fake facades, and a funny-sounding merchandise stand.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Guys' merchandise, big whoop.
Oh, hey, don't you dare. Don't you dare insult used guys' merchandise. I love that.
Look, they sell them with generic merchandise on two little carts.
Yeah, but the name was pretty ingenious.
That park had such so little things. Just I was waiting for them to announce to do something with it.
No, certainly the expansion was long awaited.
And then just nothing happened until now. I am so glad for Star Wars Land. I'll take Guardians of the Galaxy Land, anything. But
certainly fit better in this park. Nick, why are you throwing things? Don't be throwing things during the show.
Osborne was great, but other than that, the whole area was a waste of space.
I think that's why most people are sad. I think it's definitely mostly Osborne. The Backlot Studio Tour, I think people, by the time you came in 2002, I think people had reckoned with the death of the Backlot Tour. We didn't know it was going to take 12 more years at that point, but it did. But did you want to answer? Do you want to answer a trivia question while we have you on?
Yeah, might as well. Let's give it a shot.
Okay. Well, one of the more famous stops along the Backlot Studio Tour was Residential Street, where they had the facades from many famous productions. Can you name any of those productions they had the houses from?
Golden Girls was the big one.
Yes.
There was, I know Herbie was there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I remember some of the Block Party Bash cones just sitting there looking
in later
sad.
years, yeah. But yeah, some of the other ones we would have accepted. Empty Nest was there. They had some sets from the Disney Channel series Adventures in Wonderland. Great show. And Ernest Saves Christmas, which was the very first production completed at the Disney MGM studio. There you go. Sam, you have anything else to add?
Just good riddance to Streets of America. Enjoy your memories.
We will, even though you've stomped on them. But anyway.
Didn't they have a replica of the bar from Rocketeer at one point?
Yes. The big dog.
Yeah, Peavy's, right?
Was that Peavy's? I haven't seen the Rocketeer.
I haven't seen the movie in years.
I just know they had the big... I don't think that was Peavy's, but there was that big dog facade. Yeah, that was there for a long time. Yeah. And of course, the Boneyard had many vehicles and things of that sort. We're rapidly running out of time here, so I'm gonna speed through this. It's going to become Flashback to the Future in a moment. Everyone, feel free to interrupt me if you have something to add. Talking about speeding ahead. This is great audio, by the way. Tour. Of course, the tour was cut down. As we said before, the tour just very quickly, just year by year, it seemed they took things away from it. Within just a few months of opening, the Walt Disney Theater was emptied out, and that became Here Comes the Muppets, and later Voyage of the Little Mermaid. By 1989, by the end of the year, New York Street was open to guests. They just walked through. Yeah, so it went from Residential Street straight to Catastrophe Canyon at that point. So it became a 30-minute long attraction. So it went from 2 hours the 30 minutes, of course, because they broke off the walking tour. That became Backstage Pass, which would operate until 2001 when One Man's Dream and Who Wants to Be a Millionaire Play It came about at that point in time. Of course, Lights, Motors, Action came in 2003 that's when they started the work on that. That cut off Residential Street. We lost Residential Street at that time. Lights, Motors, Action would open in 2005, obviously. And yeah, so also 2008, the live narration went away. They went to automated spiels at that time. The writing just for many years, the writing was on the wall. We knew something was going to happen. It took Disney just a very long time to get something approved, honestly. And then, of course, there's the Osborne Lights, which, if we're not going to get into it now, that complete history, maybe we'll save that for a later time. The holiday season's around the corner, coming up in November, so maybe we'll hold on to that till then. But yeah, so now we're losing. I think it's historic because obviously the park is 28 years old, or approaching 28 years old. This has been there since all of this was there, except for Lights, Motors, Action, since the beginning. This is something that's a part of our lives for a quarter of a century, and now it's just gone. Regardless of quality or whatever, I think this is the moment in time that really signifies that change. Like, obviously we had the announcement last year, but this really and truly signifies the change of this park. Anybody?
Yeah, I've always missed the Backstage Pass part even more than the tram. I think that was almost more of the embodiment of the studios, because even with the tram, it was always a weaker version than what Universal had in Hollywood, which is what it always had to be compared to. But Backstage Pass was really something unique at the time, and until we got DVD extra features and 100 cable channels looking for whatever kind of content they could throw on, nobody really could see these kind of things. Like the Giant Bee was awesome.
Yeah,
and that's what I remember more than anything.
Yeah.
And that, to me, was really the heart of that park until it went away.
Yeah, for me, it's always going to be Osborne. Osborne is the most important thing there. Obviously, the Backlot tour going away is a really important moment, and it's a classic attraction that after 20-something years just left. But Osborne's going to be the big loss in all of this, and we still don't know if someday that's going to come back. Obviously, not this year. It's not going anywhere, but I know everyone's very hopeful that someday that will return. Any other final thoughts? We're running out of time, sadly, on this week's show. I know we wanted to have a little more time. Some things ran long, but any other final thoughts, ladies and gentlemen?
I just want my lights back.
You want your lights back? Oh.
That's it. I want my lights back.
Lights,
Not
Motors,
Lights,
Action?
Motors, Action.
Oh.
Yeah.
I want my Christmas lights back. Let me
No.
clarify. I want my Christmas lights back.
I want my Lights, Motors, Action back.
No, said no one ever.
No.
Said
No.
no one ever. That's exactly right. Yes. Hey, what happened to the Flight of the Navigator pod? Is that going to end up at Theme Park Connection?
Where is that?
It may have come in and have been sold before it even hit the floor.
Are you serious? Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, that didn't even get to hit the floor. Yeah, that we had.
Or maybe the kid from the movie stole that too when he robbed that bank.
Oh, jeez. Wow. Wow. Nick, we only have a minute and a half.
Yes, we
left.
do.
We have time for people to be mad at me.
Let's see who's mad at Tom now.
Who hates Tom now?
Who hates Tom now? DC is better than Marvel. Came back with another comment. This time mad at Tom about the Guardians of the Galaxy roller coaster attraction. More malarkey from the rumor mill. He also goes on, blah, blah, blah. DC's better than Marvel. All the Batman movies are all the better than the Marvel movies. But we don't need to go over that. Philip wrote in on the Guardians of the Galaxy roller coaster attraction. Stop spreading these lies, WDWNT. Really sad emoji face. Bruce wrote in, whoever gave the new fish this review for the Flying Fish Review restaurant review post. This reviewer has no clue what he's talking about. The change would just place a notch below Bonefish Grill. And then Jim B wrote in on the Streets of America getting demolished, the Hollywood studios. I was expecting to see a building coming down or a bulldozer bulldozing something over. Nothing but rubble. So very upset at your misleading post there. Anyway, that's it for WDW News Tonight.
Yeah. And remember, kids, energy. You make the world go round. See you next week.
Celebrating 50 years as a pop